In order to provide up-to-date information about NCAA banned drugs and drug testing, the NCAA Educational Affairs Group, under the direction of the NCAA Competitive Safeguards and Medical Aspects of Sports Committee, presents the following.
Hey, you've got a lot on your plate. You have your studies, sports, and relationships. Even if you know the plays, you know the moves, and you've got the know-how to do your best, there's still something else you need to know.
In order to prevent the use of banned drugs by student athletes, the NCAA conducts drug testing and provides a variety of drug education programs for you. Just like you, the NCAA is very concerned about health and safety and the integrity of college sports.
Why does the NCAA ban certain drug classes?
The NCAA bans performance-enhancing and street drugs to protect the health of its student-athletes and also to ensure fair play. Sometimes student-athletes feel pressure to use performance-enhancing substances, and just like any other college student, athletes might be tempted to use illegal drugs. NCAA drug testing provides you with one more good reason to stay drug-free, because if you do test positive, you will not be able to continue to compete in NCAA sports.
Okay, what are the NCAA banned drug classes?
There are 7 different classes of drugs you should be familiar with. Stimulants, anabolic agents like steroids, peptide hormones, diuretics and other urine manipulators or masking agents, anti-estrogens, beta-2 agonists, and street drugs. The NCAA bans the use of drugs by class and provides some examples under each class. It's important to note that all drugs chemically belonging to the class of drugs are banned, whether or not they are listed as an example.
Also, some medications and supplements may contain NCAA banned substances. Supplement products are not well regulated and labels may not be accurate. Even over-the-counter products may contain banned ingredients. As an NCAA student-athlete, you are responsible for anything you ingest. Before taking any medication or supplement, check with your athletics administrator and contact the REC, a service provided by the NCAA to check out whether medications and supplements contain banned ingredients on their labels.
Okay, what about anabolic agents and steroids?
Talk about big-time problems. Besides being banned substances, steroids and anabolic agents also cause all sorts of side effects such as injuries to tendons, ligaments, and muscles, as well as hormonal changes, which can change sex characteristics in both men and women. There's also a risk to mental health from steroid use, such as uncontrolled aggression and depression with steroid withdrawal.
And did you know that some over-the-counter dietary supplements might contain steroids that can cause you to test positive? Also, ordering steroid products over the internet without a legitimate prescription is a federal offense. It's just not worth it.
What about testosterone or supplement products that claim to raise testosterone levels naturally?
Good question. Testosterone use in any form is banned. Testosterone boosters that contain steroids or other banned substances are banned too. Be cautious about using any supplement or medication. Check with your athletic trainer before using any of these products.
What are peptide hormones?
These are hormones that have the potential to enhance athletic performance, but their use can cause serious health effects and even death. Banned hormones, such as human growth hormone and EPO, a hormone that increases red blood cells, have no place in college sports.
How about stimulants?
Whether you take these to stay awake, help you study, lose weight, or heighten performance, it doesn't matter. They are still banned. Also, be aware that the use of stimulants during strenuous training and competition in hot weather can trigger heart and heat stress problems which can be fatal. Many supplement products, including energy products and vitamin packs, may contain banned stimulants like guarana and synephrine. Also, you can test positive if you consume too much caffeine, so avoid using over-the-counter medications, weight loss aids, and energy products that contain caffeine. If you are prescribed a stimulant medication such as Adderall or Ritalin, you must report that to your athletic trainer and provide medical documentation to receive approval to use these banned medications.
What about the use of diuretics and other urine manipulators or masking agents?
Using these products, which are often marketed as water pills, either for weight loss or to beat a drug test, is not a smart move. Diuretics lead to dehydration, which negatively affects your performance. If you are thinking about taking these to help you beat a drug test, that's cheating and it won't work, because the NCAA tests for diuretics too.
What are anti-estrogens?
These drugs may be prescribed for people undergoing fertility or cancer treatments, but also may be used to mask the side effects of anabolic steroid use. Use of anti-estrogens without documentation of a legitimate medical need can result in the loss of your eligibility.
How about beta-2 agonists?
These drugs are used to treat asthma, but also can be used to unfairly enhance performance. The NCAA allows the use of inhalers for asthma, but otherwise bans the use of these substances.
Do you test for street drugs?
The NCAA tests for street drugs in the championship testing program, and many of your schools also test for these substances. Street drugs are not only harmful to your health and athletic performance, they are also illegal.
With marijuana or hemp, the passive inhalation or ingestion excuses won't work. The NCAA cutoff level is high enough to rule out these excuses. And remember, any product that contains THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, is banned.
What about alcohol?
The NCAA bans the use of beta blockers and alcohol only in rifle competition. Your school may have other rules about alcohol use. Consuming alcohol can dehydrate student athletes and generally detracts from athletic performance.
Remember, you are responsible for anything you ingest. Check with your coach, athletic trainer, or physician before you take anything. They can contact the Resource Exchange Center or REC if they aren't sure if a substance is banned. The REC is supported by the NCAA as a credible and confidential source of information about supplements, medications, and NCAA banned drugs.
What if I need to take a medication?
Check out all medications with your athletic trainer or team physician, because even those purchased over the counter might contain banned substances.
Even if your own physician prescribes a medication, you still need to check it with your school's athletic trainer or team physician before you take it. Many times, there are alternative medicines that you can take that are not on the list of banned substances. All medications you take should be listed with your sports medicine staff. This will allow you to request an exception if you test positive for the use of banned medications. For health and safety reasons, your athletic trainer must know what medications you are taking. And using someone else's prescription medication is not only illegal, but could result in a positive drug test penalty.
Again, we want to warn you about dietary supplements. NCAA schools have chosen not to provide muscle-building supplements to you and encourages student athletes to rely on eating right and training appropriately to enhance their performance. But if you decide you want to purchase supplements, remember that these products are not well regulated and might cause a positive drug test.
Don't rely on just anyone's advice. You are responsible for consulting with the appropriate athletics department representative to determine whether the product's ingredients include an NCAA banned substance on the label. In the end, student athletes assume the risk that supplement products may be mislabeled or contaminated with an undisclosed banned substance. Ultimately, you are responsible for any substance you put in your body. Ignorance is no excuse for a positive drug test.
Finally, did you know that NCAA schools have a rule against tobacco use during practice and competition? This ban also covers coaches, athletic personnel, and game officials. Everyone is responsible for ensuring that tobacco products are not used at competitions or practices.
As you know, the goals of the drug testing programs are to protect the health of student athletes and to provide clean and equitable competition. At the start of each school year, you, like all student athletes at NCAA member schools, sign a consent form stating that you understand the NCAA drug testing program and consent to be tested. Along with the drug testing consent form, you will also sign other compliance forms, including the student athlete statement, which will ask you other questions related to drug testing.
What if I don't sign the consent form?
You must sign the consent form to participate in your sport. And another thing, if you test positive in any other athletics organization, such as USA Track and Field, you have to report that positive test on your student athlete statement. If you are under a suspension by any other athletics organization, you may not be allowed to participate in NCAA competition. Be sure to check with your school's compliance director to make sure you are filling out the forms correctly.
How does the NCAA test for drugs?
The NCAA drug testing program involves urine collection at post-season events and on college campuses throughout the year. You might get selected to be tested because you won an NCAA championship event, or you may be randomly selected. After you are officially notified that you've been chosen for a drug test, you must report to the drug testing site at the designated time. You may bring along a witness to observe the drug testing protocol or just lend support. During championship testing, you will be given time to get your award, talk to reporters, or anything else you need to do after the championship before you come to the testing area. It is very important that you arrive on time or you may be penalized for failing to show up, which is the same penalty as a positive drug test.
What happens next?
Once you get into the testing area, you will need to stay until you provide an adequate specimen. This means there has to be enough urine at the right concentration. If you need additional fluids, there are approved drinks for you to have while in the testing area. These drinks will not have caffeine, alcohol, or anything else that can show up on a drug test.
How long do I have to give a specimen?
You have as much time as you need to provide an adequate urine specimen. While you're at the drug testing site, ask the crew any questions you have about the collection procedure or about banned drugs in general. The crew members are experienced in sports drug testing and can answer any questions you might have. When you think you're ready to give your specimen, you'll wash your hands and then select a beaker. Someone of your own gender from the drug testing crew will keep you under constant observation.
What does under constant observation mean?
That means the crew member will watch you give your urine specimen to prevent any tampering. This is an important step in the procedure because it ensures that the urine specimen is genuine and belongs to you. Once you finish, you'll take your specimen to the processing table where you will be able to assist the crew member as he or she prepares your specimen for the laboratory. The crew member will use a refractometer to measure the concentration of your urine. It is very accurate. They will also use readout strips to measure your specimen's pH. These screens are done to make sure your specimen is ready to be sent to the laboratory.
Preparation by the crew member is concluded with the careful process of splitting your specimen into the A and B bottles, making sure they are tightly sealed and packing them for shipment to the laboratory. Before you leave the site, you will confirm that the NCAA drug testing protocol was followed. This means that you agreed that you were observed providing a urine specimen, you maintain control of the specimen until packaging, and that you observe the crew member seal and package your specimen. The specimens are transported from the testing site to the NCAA testing laboratory in accordance with the NCAA chain of custody protocol. Upon arrival at the NCAA laboratory, all safety seals are checked. Each specimen container and bottle is checked and stored securely.
Because all specimens are number-coded, the laboratory staff does not know your name or the name of your school. Well-trained technicians with years of experience in drug screening perform the actual analysis of the specimen. They use state-of-the-art procedures and equipment. Drug testing results are reported to your director of athletics, who will contact you if necessary. If you test positive, you may request to be present or have a witness present when the B bottle is tested at the NCAA laboratory. Keep in mind that if you have a positive test, your institution can appeal the findings on your behalf.
Listen, testing positive will affect your eligibility, which means you will not be able to continue to compete in NCAA sports. And if you test positive at a championship, it could affect your team's place of finish. The NCAA knows that most student athletes don't use drugs, and the NCAA offers drug education programs to support student athletes continuing to make these good choices. If you want to learn more about how drugs can affect your athletic performance, go to the NCAA drug education website at www.ncaa.org/health-safety.
Be smart. Know what you need to know. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy and drug-free. We wish you the best as you experience the wonderful and sometimes hectic life of the NCAA student athlete.